Chia the other day, he said, I don't know why you try to act like you don't like food. You let Melanie talk to you and eat on the phone. And I was like, do we need to talk to somebody
Like,
about
you don't
this?
like food? What?
And I don't like the sound of people eating. And I hang up the phone when people are eating. I'll be like, okay, I'll call you back. He was like, you don't do that to Melanie. And I was like, do you need me to do that to make you feel better?
Why don't you do it to Melanie?
I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe I will.
Let's unpack that.
What's up, y'all? It's Ashley.
It's Melanie.
And Codie here. And you've tapped into
The Mama's Den.
What's up, ladies? It is Mama's Den Monday.
Yay.
It's your girl, Ashley. Hi, Codie. Hi, Melanie. Howdy.
Now, see, if I was Ashley, I would say, you might want to rethink that last note.
Oh, baby, I need to rethink all the notes. God did not bless me with the gift of song.
They
Well,
gift you with the gift of comedy.
Well, there you go.
You are very funny.
splat out. So we got to introduce ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Hello, hello.
We do.
Who wants? I'll go first.
Do it.
All right, it's Ashley Chia here, and I am a mother of 4 daughters. Amira is 16, Azara is 9, Asia is 7, and Atalia is 3.
Damn. It's whether you're first or last on this roll call, we're always going to say this.
Yeah.
Childish.
I'm Melanie Fiona. That's me. 2 kids. Cameron, who is 9. Kaya, who is 3. And the shop is closed. We're not having any more children.
Ow.
Yep.
Shop closed over here too. This is Codie. I have 3 kids, Aristotle and Langston, who are twins, identical twin boys, 6 years old, and Brooks, the brilliant. See, she gonna say I'm gonna be shading the other 2. They're all brilliant.
Use adjectives for everyone.
You know, okay, Aristotle, the
Amazing.
amazing Aristotle,
There you go.
lovely, loving Langston,
There you
and
go.
the brilliant, beautiful Brooks, and he has a little mole on his cheek, just like
See,
Justin
stop,
from Forever.
stop.
What?
You gave him 2 adjectives. Now you talk about his mole.
Little
Girl,
mole.
just keep it equal. Jesus.
So cute. Have you seen Forever?
Ma'am.
So
Yes,
good.
so good.
So good.
Shout out to Mara.
Okay, but I digress. So for our day ones, y'all know it has been 4 mamas since we launched the Mama's Den podcast in
Yes.
2022. Us 3 and our sister, Felicia Latour. But recently, Fee went back to school, and it was a tough decision for her to make, but a really important one. And so we're super excited for her, but we're sharing with y'all, our audience, that it is the 3 of us.
It is the 3 of us.
We're holding it down.
Fee has stepped away from the podcast officially and officially into a new season of life for her. And we're so happy for her, and we're sending her love and support on her journey of evolution. And sometimes you really need to create space and time to do those things. And so we get it, and we love you, Fee. And we're going to keep the ship going. And she's going to be right here in spirit with us in the couch. Although I'm sitting in the seat now because
We're moving around.
This is a-
10,
this is
10,
a good-
do not recommend. Not a fan. Boo.
I think it's 0 out of 10, not 10.
No, I 10, do not recommend it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know that it works that way.
Works however way I want it to work. And
Okay.
so I am not happy that she left. And I do not care that she doing what she want to do.
Oh, Lord. Okay, but rephrased, because it could sound shady when I know you mean it. Like,
She knows.
you don't want her to be away
No,
from
but
But
us.
do the people know? Because you know they're going to be quick to
Right.
run and be
Oh,
like,
no.
Ashley was hating.
No, I said I don't want her to leave. And I don't care how y'all take that.
Oh, my.
No, I
Okay.
mean, listen, Fia is my girl. You know, we like to have a little kiki cackle. We like to give each other a little side conversation. And I'm sad. I have abandonment issues. I don't like when people leave
Girl.
me.
We're sad.
We get that. Yeah, we're all
We're
sad.
sad.
It's a shift, but one that, as y'all know, we had been discussing for some period with Fee, and so it is a shift. It is a change. There's
Yeah.
discomfort. There's sadness.
I just think everything is changing so fast in this world that I'm just like, sure, what's next?
Oh, girl,
well, there's an attitude to have about it.
that's life.
I just feel,
She's
I'm
right.
being honest. Like, I think in the last few years of my life, I think practicing the art of non-attachment.
Oh.
And I think that
in a healthy way?
No, unknowingly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
Unknowingly, I think just life has just given me different scenarios in the last few years of my life that have just put me in a position of like, hey, you going to roll with it, or are you going to fight it, or are you going to constantly like be in this flux of why or when or why not or whatever? Like, just like it is what it is. And I think for me, it just comes from a place of grace. It's just like, look, everybody's doing the best they can with what they got.
Yeah.
And
100%.
including myself. And so I'm just like, cool. Just we're here today, and that's all I can be focused on.
No, I get that. I think my personality is never going to change. And so what I like to do, what I've always practiced in my life is acceptingly not accepting things.
Oh, Lord.
Meaning like
What?
nothing stops me from going, in a sense of like I still haven't accepted that my sister did. I think it's stupid. It's never going to not be stupid. But like I'm still going to move on. I'm
Yeah.
still going to have joy and happiness. But no, I don't accept it, God. We can go ahead and reverse, rewind, try again. And I think I'm like that about a lot of things. Even when my mom would give me chores, I'd be like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to do it because you told me to. But just so you know, I don't like it.
Yeah,
and I think that's how I am.
But like a chore, right, is for the greater good of the house, right? That
Yeah.
you are taking care of the dishes or doing the laundry
That's why I did
or
it.
whatever. And so we're in a space where we may not, we're like, y'all, this ain't no rehearsed speech. Clearly, we didn't talk about this in depth beforehand, besides to say we want to share it with our audience.
Yeah.
That like, Fee's not here. It is the three of us. Deal with it. But also
Or don't, like Ashley.
Don't be mad. No, say no. Don't be mad at us because actually we are genuinely, like I am genuinely happy for
yes,
her.
I was going to say it's for the greater good.
Yes, because I want everyone to do what brings them joy, regardless of how it makes me feel. This will go for my children. I don't want.
Yeah.
It's the same way I feel about my daughter. Keep telling me she's going to NYU in 2 years. Like I don't want her to go. I'm going to be devastated, but I'm also going to buy her like the best sheets and like take her shopping. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like that. It's the things that like you can't change certain things and people need to go on their own journey, but like doesn't mean, I just think sometimes people feel like in order to support someone you have to be happy about it, if that makes sense. I think you can be happy for someone without being happy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I live, in a life of duality. This is just my personality. I'm not a person who just, I don't know. I just think people feel like they have to be a certain way in order to accept something, if that makes sense. And it
Yeah.
makes people more comfortable. But I think the reality for a lot of people is that I'm not really happy about this change, but I still support it. Or
Yeah.
like, this isn't what I want, but I still support it. So I support her in anything she does. That's my boo. We talk all the time. I love her. I want her to do the best for her and for her children. And I want her to be happy and comfortable and to thrive, regardless of how that makes Ashley Chia feel. But deep down inside, I just want her here because I love her. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the intention.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
for us to be here to the end of time. Anyways,
So yeah.
so I guess this is a good time to reintroduce ourselves.
Right. So y'all, we did a reintroduction episode that I'm sure you heard that came out in June. And at that time, Fee was missing that day, but we didn't know this is where we were going to be.
Yeah.
So we're going to follow that up, right? Y'all did a survey earlier in the year, asked us some questions, said things that you wanted to hear more of. And we talked about some of that. We talked about our backgrounds, like where we met our husbands, our pregnancy stories and journeys. And so now we want to talk a little bit about, hold on. And if you didn't listen to that part, run that back. Okay. It was June. You can find it. I think it's called something part 1. So we want to talk a little bit more about like how we got here and what do we do all day, y'all? Because the reality is when we started this podcast, it was just out the pandemic. We was just surviving.
Yeah.
And now we are juggling, and I mean juggling, careers, more children than when we started, post-pandemic, but second Trump era lives. And
wow,
you know,
I know,
I was
right?
just saying that's where we are
Why did that hit us like that?
because it hits every day. So I just want to like kind of jump into that again.
Okay. What do you do all day?
Who is we? Okay, cool. What do I do all day? So for those that don't know, I run Black Love. It's a media company. After Tommy and I, my husband, started the Black Love docuseries in 2017, we launched blacklove.com in 2018, live events, digital content across YouTube and socials. And sometimes we do partnerships with brands. And what else do we do? Podcasts like this one. And so, frankly, I celebrate and affirm the Black community through the lens of love 365 days a year. And my husband produces film, documentary, and features, and sometimes I do too. But I also just kind of want to bring us up to the point that means that like pretty much every day I got an office to go to. I got stuff to do. I got people to lead. I don't always know what I'm doing. As y'all, anybody who's been listening for 3 years knows that there's like a lot of learning and a lot of vulnerability and a lot of overwhelm that comes with that. And especially, frankly, last year and this year have been more challenging than ever, with last year and this year being really different. And, we don't have to go into the depths of 2025, but I think that anybody knows that a lot of things have been challenging for companies, big and small, especially Black companies and diverse companies. Diversity is a bad word, and that's been hard.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
You know what else is a bad word? Racism.
Girl.
Word.
Discrimination. D. Sorry.
Facts. So I come here to this office, because that's where our studio is, pretty much 5 days a week, and try to make beautiful things for our community.
Let me not make any mad. I'm
do.
so happy that you come to an office 5 days a week, Codie.
Girl.
That is so good for you.
Oh,
We just gonna say it.
She's gonna shake the table.
Here.
Because we would not want to make anyone upset that you come to an office every day.
Man.
Does that make you happy, Codie, that you come to an office every day?
Not
of the week?
really.
Oh, okay.
Those memes, all the memes that be like, I just want, what is that one? People ask me, what do I dream? What work do I dream of?
I do
Darling,
not dream of
I
work.
do not dream of work. Okay. I do dream of celebrating my people. I love doing that, but no, I don't be wanting to come up to an office every day. And also, I want to spend more time with my children. So I'm
Yeah.
also in a phase of trying to figure out how to use my time more wisely, work-wise, so that I can spend more time with my children as they're getting older and in a space of I bit my tongue. It wasn't a lisp.
are you okay?
Yes, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
In a space of learning, the littles just finished kindergarten, going into first grade, and so they're evolving and learning really quickly, and I kind of want to be there more and answer goofy questions and find out what silly things happened at school or at camp or wherever they were that day. So I'm figuring that out right
I
now.
can't believe that they are graduating from kindergarten. The way I thought they were in second grade.
girl.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Kindergarten
was
is a
just saying-
weird space.
Yeah.
For me, those boys are
Beyond kindergarten.
they're 9,
Yeah.
10 years old. They
Well,
might be older than Brooks.
They are
Like,
the oldest some of the oldest in their class, whereas Brooks is the youngest in his class.
Okay.
But
Did you
it's-
send them at age 6? Is that
They
why?
went at 5, about to turn 6,
Okay.
whereas he went at 4, about to turn 5.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Riveting, right?
I always feel like they're so much older.
Yeah, and they're just super smart kids. I think that's why
Yeah.
all your kids are smart. Get some good
Gracias.
genetics there, girl.
Thank you.
Okay, what do I do all day? Nothing.
Girl,
Melanie,
we're not
you?
doing this. Wait, okay. Audience, friends of the den, ladies
Here's
and gents.
Ashley disassociating in real time.
I'm going to just set up the fact that after we did our summer break episode, there were some comments about our lives. So part of this is wanting to shed a light on that. And y'all know, ride or dies know, Ashley is a comedian and
And a
doesn't
truth teller.
care, and a truth teller, and does not care to explain herself. Who also does live a life of luxury because her husband loves her dearly.
But I mean,
what
do
does
I
it
need to tell
mean?
people that I struggled my whole life so that I'm allowed to be happy that
Maybe. Do you want to?
No, I don't like to preference my life. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood. That's every sentence that I say. And it just, there's two things. I don't think that Black people should have to struggle in order for us to be happy for them to not be struggling anymore.
Yeah.
So we as a community need to deal with that, talk to somebody about that, because it's weird. That we typically only want to root for people when we think they're an underdog or they struggle to
Yeah.
get where they are. Can we just be happy that Black people aren't struggling and be look, one less Black person struggling and fighting for their life. But I do things, obviously. First of all, I've worked my entire life since I was 14 years old. Okay, I didn't even get a childhood. I was working after school until 11 p.m. So right now in this phase of my life, I don't have a day job, but I do, as far as a 9 to 5 in an office. But however, my husband and I do have a creative agency that requires us to travel a lot during the school year.
Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Tell us more about the creative agency.
What
y'all be doing?
We doing a lot of production, which is amazing. And we work with Ohio State and Nike, and we do these really big events at the school. There's a program called You Move, which is really encouraging students that all students are an athlete, and we come up with creative ideas, and then produce them to engage the student population into movement. So
give me an example.
Okay, there's many. We do Air Max Day, which is really fun. And so we bring out, Chia got this, what are they called? Oh, my brain, I got 4 kids.
Is that the one where
Containers?
No,
no,
but it was
not
like
that
a
one.
moon bounce, but it had things in
No,
it.
that's another one that we
Oh,
did.
okay.
No, it's what are those things called that people make food trucks out of sometimes and stuff?
Trucks.
It's a truck that has wheels, but you can do the inside of it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
My
I know
brain.
what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Anyways, Chia had one of those made, which is really cool. So it travels, but we have like a basketball hoop on the back of it. So we open up the inside. There's like a lounge in there. There's a stage. It's really cool. And then people come and we'll have like a shootout contest. They can win free Air Maxes. It's really cool. And then
So Nike is your client or Ohio State?
both.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a partnership with everyone.
Cool.
So that is really cool. And we used to work with Texas as well, college, and that was dope too. So yeah, we produce different events. It just depends. You know what I mean? But it's throughout the entire school year though. And we engage the student population. And that's something that I really, really love. On top of that, I also homeschool my children. My husband has a 9 to 5. So he has to, he works from home, but he still has to like clock into his computer, if that makes sense. And he manages contractors, which is really cool. And shout out to him because he's helping 2 friends build a store and he's helping somebody with their house. So he's like always forever busy. And I'm very appreciative of that. But I share that because there has been times like when I was influencing for the past 10 years and I was bringing in tons and tons of money as a contributing partner in our household. And then, like the world changed and I'm going to always be vocal about injustice. And that kind of changed the dynamic for influencers who were speaking out about injustice because now it's not cool. Like when we were putting up black squares.
It's still cool. It's just
not for the
businesses
businesses. Which is sad. Because it's like at one point it's like we all care about diversity and black people. We're going to put our black squares up and hire black influencers and give them money and pay them full price. And then now when one person says that it's illegal, now everyone's kind of like not caring about that, which is really sad. But I live my moral compass is between me and God, not dollars. So I know, it'll always come back around. But my primary time is with me and Tata. My mother comes into town and she helps me homeschool. So I think that's important to share too. It's not me just doing it by myself. So my mom will fly in. She'll be here for like 3 months on, a month off. And then when she's not here, she'll FaceTime the middles and help them throughout their school day. So I'm like with Tata a lot 24/7, which can be draining. But it's cool. And then we travel for our job. And I'm also writing and pitching books to my agent all the time. So that's kind of like I am deep in motherhood, usually 24/7. My work typically comes second to me making money.
And when we joke / are serious about you living a life of luxury, your flow with your boo is that he is the morning person.
Yes.
You be getting to sleep.
No, I don't sleep. This is why he's a morning person. So I don't know. It's like I can't fall asleep. I don't know. It's always been this way. I probably because I was having kids all in my 30s. But since I can remember, I've had a really hard time going to sleep. So when I'm breastfeeding and all those, but outside of that, I just don't fall asleep. It's terrible. And then I wake up in the middle of the night to pee 50 times. So it started with Tata when I was just like, this is our 4th child. Like I'm drained. I can't do it anymore. Like I need help. And I told my husband, he was like, fine, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. Like you don't have to get up. So he'll wake up, he'll make the children breakfast unless he has to go out of town or travel or something. And I typically come out of my room around 8 a.m. or 9, but I also went to sleep at like 3 or 4 a.m. So it's not like I'm just getting 12 hours of sleep. Yeah. I usually sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. Yeah. So it's terrible, but it's also great. And also, let's keep in mind this too. When I say that I live a life of luxury, I think that everybody's life is different in what they consider luxury. You know what I mean? I spent the majority of my life not having basic things like health insurance, the ability to go to the dentist and get my teeth fixed. So for me, I'm in a space where my bills are paid for. I have a home. I feel safe. I don't have some of the materialistic things that I would love to have, like a G-Wagon or something. That's not within my...
I like G-Wagons too.
I know, but that's not in the budget for our family right now, you know? I spend most of my money on dance classes.
for multiple children.
For multiple children. That's why I don't have G-Wagon. But for me, luxury is being in a healthy marriage with someone that loves me and sees me and supports me, my children being safe, my children having health care, my children not having to worry about what they're eating. If I need to buy them new clothes, I have the ability to do that. And me being able to go back and forth to Ohio to see my family and stay connected in that way. And me being healthy. That's a life of luxury for me. It's not me balling in dough and materialistic things. So I want that to be clear, that I think luxury depends on the person. I did not grow up with some things. So now that I have like all my basic needs met, I don't have to worry about that. Like, it's a different level of stress going to a store and having to check your bank account before you can buy groceries or buy anything. I live my life primarily like that. Like, let me see how much I got in there. Okay, this is what I can get. I'm not in that space anymore, but I'm also not in a space where I don't need to check my bank account before I make like huge purchases, if that makes sense. It's not, I don't got like that yet. So yeah, I think I just want to share that with people too. Like, your joy and what you consider to be a beautiful life is really like what you believe that to be. So
I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Melly Mel?
You know, my life of luxury right now, my life of luxury right now is being able to say yes and say no when I want.
That's dope.
You know, and that doesn't come from, I think for me, from a, I'm not basing that, that's not rooted. It's obviously contributing. It's not rooted in financial freedom or stability or anything like that for me when I say that. For anybody who's just tuning in or getting acquainted, I am historically, professionally a singer-songwriter. And that's how I've established myself as a professional. And so that is what has brought me money, awareness, popularity, opportunity. Those are the things that I've done. I've sung songs and I've sung them well, and I've made a successful, by all definition of the word, career for myself. Most importantly, it's the sustainability. I think for me, the way that I've lived my life through my career is what has allowed for me to be sustainable. I've never cared about like overly flashy things. I've never cared about money being the sole purpose of why I do what I do. Both my husband and I are in the music industry and have worked very hard in all of the roles. My husband has had 55 different roles in the space of music, and now has landed as an executive and a partner, and I'm very proud of him and what he does. But this now space of having 2 children, because when I first started, I didn't have any kids. Then I had 1 kid when we started this podcast, and now I have 2 children. It's been a journey, I think, for me of redefining my life right now. That's kind of where I feel like the luxury comes in the space of I'm in a space where I have a healthy marriage. I have a partner who is a partner as well as a provider, and I can have these conversations to kind of like redefine how I want to approach music. I don't necessarily want to be on the grind demand the way that I was 15 years ago.
Right.
When I first started. And so spending time with my kids is something that is really, really important to me. My 3-year-old is not in school yet. And so, you know, having this time with her with help has been ideal. Because
What is help?
Help is family coming in to help us out. You know, we've done the, you know, having nannies come and go, but family has been the anchor of our foundation of support. And I'm so grateful for the aunties and the grandmas and the nanas and everybody who's come in to help. In the last year, I put out a project for the first time, a new musical project for the first time in a long time. But I say that to say I feel, again, very grateful that the journey that I've been on in putting out my last project as a major, signed to a major label artist in 2012, I then put out my next project in 2025. Is it this year?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
2025.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So it's been a long, is it 13 years?
I think so.
Oh my gosh.
It's 13 years.
And you've been touring this whole time.
And I've
Period.
worked this amount of time. And so, you know, I think a question that comes up for me a lot is that people are just like, well, why did you give up music? And I'm like, I didn't give up music. I just quieted the noise a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just decided to arrange certain players and people and things in my life. And I started to ask myself, what do I want my life to look like? How do I want to feel about my life? And entering into motherhood was a big part of the feeling that I wanted to have, which was, you know, legacy and growth and expanded love and further collaboration with my husband and giving my parents' grandchildren and like experiencing the joy of creating life and seeing and experiencing and learning from having children. That was really important for me. Loving children. And so that's I always say, like, making a living and making a life. This has been something that I feel very blessed to be able to do. And so when I go back to my original thought of luxury, it is me being the driver and the captain of my ship. Is me not being at the mercy of the demands of what people expect from me, want from me, have requested of me throughout this time. I felt like I really needed space to grow, to heal, to learn, unlearn. And now that I'm in this era of life where I've got this new project out, it's called Say Yes, please go listen to it. It's reflective of my life now. It's reflective of who I am now. And so a lot of people know me previously, before children, musically, as a single woman, as a woman who, you know, sang big ballads, heartbreak, and all the ranges of emotions and genre of R&B. And now I feel that they've gotten to know me as a person. My audience has gotten to know me as a person. I've gotten to know myself further as a person, as a woman, as a human. And so the music and the art and everything that I make moving forward has to reflect that.
Yeah.
And so that's what these days look like for me. You know, where it's experiences with my children as a mother, but it's also experiences as an artist with my children. So come on out to the show, kids. See what mommy does, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it is for me. And I feel like right now, I don't know if anyone else feels this, I feel like I'm on the precipice of change. And I don't know what the change is, but I feel myself changing and I feel a change coming. I often think about going back to school. I often
Really?
think, yeah.
Like, what would you do?
Psychology. Yeah. I think I've always dreamt of like having a master's in psychology.
You mentioned wanting to be a doula once.
I would be a doula, 100%. I just think that through this time, music has taught me that my voice is impactful and it's powerful, but I think everything that I create has to be able to like heal and be in service of people.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what I'm really focusing on for the rest of my life. You know, what is it that I want? If I work till the day I died at 117 years old, because we're going to live a long, healthy life. If I wanted to work for the rest of my life, what would I do? What would I feel full? What would allow for me to live my life of luxury, being a present mother, a wife, an artist, a creative, a healer? What could I do for that? And so that's kind of how I'm organizing my days and my weeks these days, is creating space to find what that looks like. And yeah, and I'm just in a spirit of gratitude. But like I said, just also in a spirit of flow, like, okay, God, surprise me.
Yeah.
What is next? You know, I've done things in my life that I maybe deep down my higher self knew that I would do, but like it's like I didn't know I was going to get there like that or it would look like that. So now I'm just in the space of, you know, what life is kind of about at this point. So now I'm just like, surprise me, God, but in good ways. I like good surprises.
Yep.
You know, so surprise me, God. I'm open to the miracles of surprise. And so that's me in a nutshell.
You know, it's interesting because I do want to clarify, because I think I always try to put myself in the many different positions that I've been in life, right? So there is a reality that we are all financially stable. We all are married and we all have partners who contribute. So that does contribute like I'm trying to think if I'm, you know, listening to our podcast and someone else in a different position and I'm like, well, I just want to go and flow and I just want to create. That does come with financial security. Do you know what I mean? And so I think it's important to point out that we are all 40 and that we have
40 plus.
Well,
Speak for yourself.
that's none of my business. I'm 40. And I think
40
that
plus some months.
okay, I'm 40.
40 and a half.
I am 40 years old. Thank you.
On the way to 41.
I'm 40. Well, God willing, I'll be on my way to 117.
That's right. That's right, Ashe.
But no, I think that's important because it does contribute to how we are. For me specifically, the way that I live now is definitely has to do with my level of comfort. Do you know what I mean? And I think too, I did not grow up with a lot, but my mom was such a good mom in a sense of like teaching us what I felt like were real values of like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, like creating real joy in our home and real love and really just teaching us to find joy in no matter what our situation is. And so for me, even when you were talking about going back to school, I really just too am in a space of just living my purpose, right? And whether that's going back to school or not, but it's just more so like, I know I'm a writer. Like, that is the gift that God gave me. But my purpose, I feel like, is always to heal and to help people. And I can do that without making money. It's something that I continuously do by just showing up to be a good friend. But I feel like my biggest investment is my 4 daughters. And there was like a meme on Instagram that I posted a few months ago, and it was just talking about how, like, if the love that you give to your children doesn't stop with your children, like it goes into the type of people they are, every person that they touch that you will never even know. And I think that brings me a lot of joy. There's moments where I feel like, why don't I have a TV show yet? And why don't I have these, New York Times bestsellers, children's books yet? And then I turn around and I'm like, my children are so loved and they're so happy and they're so safe, and that work that I'm doing to just be there for my daughters and make sure that they continuously feel loved so they can show up to be their best selves is also really important work. It's really like the most important job to me that I have. And I feel...
And the world.
Yes.
These girls are going to grow up to be people in this world.
That will continue to change. Yes. Exactly. And my grandchildren, if they want to have children or whatever it is that they decide to do. And so that does bring me a lot of deep joy and not rest, but I can't think of the word right now, but I feel good in my spirit knowing that like I'm still doing really important work.
Yes.
You were going to say something. Your face is saying
my face is going through a lot because
okay.
I'm trying to decide.
You, Codie.
Yeah. This is Codie. Holla. I'm trying. I have thoughts.
You should say them out loud.
That
are
no, I know we're getting there. We're getting there because it's definitely because I want to be a little vulnerable in a way that is valuable. So I'm sort of censoring myself to make sure I don't like emotion vomit or be.
Oh, we want it.
Yeah.
We want the emotional vomit.
We can edit out whatever's not useful.
Yeah.
And then the other piece of it, I want to speak to the fact that you mentioned, we are all 40. We all have like a certain level of 40 plus. We all have a certain level of financial stability, which creates a comfort and a freedom to think about what is living a life of luxury. And I want that hit me because I would say that the combination of entrepreneurship and as you all know, and our audience knows, even though I haven't talked about it in a long time, having a house fire in 2022 and the corporate challenges of 2025 have created a lot of instability for me and a lot of stress and a lot of and so in thinking about what you're saying and recognizing in myself and in many people that sometimes we're able to show up and be happy and be positive and be optimistic and be just like, woo, we gonna figure it out today,
Yeah.
Even when things are really hard. And 2025 in different ways than 2024. Like 2025 this year started with major corporations consciously saying either cutting employees or actual full-on departments with budgets dedicated to Black or minority-owned businesses, causes, organizations, etc., gone.
Yeah.
And that has certainly had an impact on both of our businesses, Confluential Films and Black Love. And that's just the last 6 months, the last several months. And so I have had to practice a lot of positive thinking and sort of replanning, and also like, how am I showing up for my children who don't need to know all of this?
Yeah.
Which isn't the same thing as like showing up here or with our audience. And I recognize that like so many people and small businesses and large businesses are impacted in the same way that I have been in 2025 alone.
Yes.
Not to mention some of these other challenges the last couple of years that have just created a strain on my sanity and my bank account at times.
Yeah.
And so I'm just bringing that up to just present the fact that like one can look a certain way and it's still like, hey, we human over here.
Well,
I mean,
you know, this just because I have a husband. If I went from making, and I'm being very real because I think it's important to talk about dollars and stuff. I made over $200,000 last year from influencing. I have made $0.
Yeah.
If I did not have a husband, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
A husband with a job.
A husband with a regular job
yeah.
that is not influencing or anything like that. He got a regular schmegular job. You know, as long as he show up and does his job correctly, we should be fine. But if it wasn't for him, I mean, our healthcare is attached to him, everything, you know. So our bills being paid, and that was from me contributing and being able, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And that obviously, when you go from having someone bringing in this amount of money, you can live very differently.
Yeah.
So it's tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tight over here.
I mean, financially and mentally, frankly.
Yes.
The idea of entrepreneurship is a struggle within itself, right? Like there's a lot of like freedom and benefits and positive things about it, but it's on you.
Yeah.
You know, it's on you. If I broke my leg tomorrow, I would not be able to tour. You know what I mean?
Like, we willing you on the stage,
yeah,
sis.
girl, now we willing to.
We'll hold you up on both sides, baby.
But you know what I mean? Like, if anything should happen to me, my
Right.
livelihood is out the door.
Yeah.
You know, and we've all, if you're not familiar, and especially in music, like streaming ain't making no money. You could have the biggest song of the century, and you're not making money.
Just crazy.
You know, streaming, billions of people streaming your songs, and you think like, oh, this is why. Like for me, this is why I'm telling you, like I'm really assessing what I want life to look like for myself, because I cannot be at the mercy of this ever-changing environment of like, you know, demand and resources and supply and distractions and content and all this stuff. Like, it's really, I think that, and I didn't even see that this conversation was going to get here, but I think that that's the reality of it. This, you know, we know that we've been triggered by certain people saying certain things not based of our intentions in the comments.
Yeah.
But it really does open up this conversation that, just like you said, like everybody is going through something in their own way.
Yeah.
How you handle, how you show up, what your intention is, like that actually matters though at the end of the day.
I agree.
It really does. And from an energetic and spiritual standpoint, God is watching you show up. How are you showing up? Are you showing up with good intentions? Are you showing up with the mindset that you want to heal and help? Are you doing the best you can? You know, I think, and are you talking about it, and are you asking other people, and are you asking for help?
Yeah.
Because I think that that's really important, and that's a part of why we do what we do here.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Right? Is to create that community and people. So even to everyone who's listening, like, I want it to be very, you know, we're aware of our individual stories, and everybody has an individual story about what they're going through. So like, some people might not know what it is to be a Grammy Award winning singer or an entrepreneur of a production company or a published author, you know?
Yeah.
But you have your own story, and I think the human element of what we all can experience is, how are we showing up through the highs and lows and the changes and the unexpected waves of going from a podcast to 4 to 3.
Yeah.
You know, how do we pivot and continue to redefine ourselves and find ourselves while losing ourselves, and then finding ourselves as different people again, like, and being able to let go of whatever versions or expectations and flow with life to do whatever it is we have to do to be okay.
I think that's why Codie brought us together, though, if you think about it. One thing that I could say about the 4 of us and the 3 of us now is that we all typically show up the same way. It's not until I became really good friends with Codie and really learned some of the struggles that she's been through, even her losing her father. Do you know what I mean? The way you consciously choose to show up with love and light. It is a conscious decision. And then even when I thought this child was crazy, when she called me and told me that her house was burning down, girl, I went over there. The girl was just smiling, watching her house burn. And I was like, ma'am,
I was not watching.
You were standing there like this, like, oh yeah, well, there goes that. And I'm like, ma'am, are you like, do you need anything? No, I'm fine. I'm like, that's not going to work. But I also, at one point, I'm like, okay, this is deep denial, which is also a part of loss, but it's still a choice. But that's how I was with my sister. I think, you know, you go through your own things as well, Melanie, that within your life, and you deal with things that a lot of people just don't know, you know what I mean? And it's deep, and you still choose. And that's the important thing. It is a choice. And I, again, go back to my mother teaching me that skill set. It's not about pretending. It's not about saying, there's nothing happening in my life and I'm fronting. There's a difference between fronting and making a choice to be like, listen, I have to meet carjacked, I got kidnapped. I lost my sister. I've been poor. You know what I mean? Lost a tooth.
For 17 years.
For 17 years. Just got the tooth
Right
back.
up there with death and
It is.
kidnapping.
I mean, I feel like it is.
Oh, Lord.
I just need a tooth. It's hard to chew back there. But I still feel like having experienced those things and realizing the sun is still going to come up. Other people are still going to experience worse things, better things. To me, it's like I just choose not to wake up every day and sit in it. I'm not acknowledging it. Back to my point of the duality. I'm happy for you that you're on this blessing, but I'm still sad that you're gone. But I'm safe, and I just think that anyone listening is that. People to be more honest. That is actually the reason why I'm like that. That's why I'm unnecessarily honest when I meet people. I just want to break the barrier and be like, now we can just exist together. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm on my period, but we're like, what's up with you? You know what I mean? Like, good. We're all bleeding. This sucks.
Fantastic.
Let's go eat some food.
Yeah.
You know, I want other people to really just realize that, like, you are definitely not alone. And yes, someone could have a nicer house than you and still be struggling, or someone could, you know what I mean, have less than you and be happier than you. You have to decide what you're going to allow, taking out mental health issues where people are unable to and they need assistance and help. But even then, you know, get a therapist if you have to get on medication. Like, take your joy and your happiness very seriously. And whether if you can do it on your own or you need to get help, but like, make your joy a priority, because this world is really doing everything it can to make sure that you're not happy. You know? That's why I love being with you all. This is a part of my deep, deep joy, is doing this podcast. For real. Thank you, Codie, for bringing us together.
Thank you for saying that. But I love you sharing that. Thank you, Ashley, for reminding us about, you know, that this being a space of joy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. So we actually have a listener letter today. Does anybody want to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
I'll read it. Hey, beautiful mamas. I'm a mother of almost 5 kids.
Damn!
Wow. She got the memo. 3 boys, ages 9, 6, 4, and my princess, who is 2. Aww. This podcast really resonates with me, and I see myself in each and every one of you. I'm Muslim and homeschool my kids. Shout out to Ashley. Hey. I'm Canadian. Shout out to Melanie.
Oh, wow.
I'm a boy mom. Shout out to Codie. Aww. And I've recently been trying to connect with God more above all else. Shout out to Felicia. Okay, my question. What is something you do every day for yourself that reminds you that you're an entity outside of being a mother and a wife? I've been struggling to rediscover identity after having children and was interested in what other mothers do. I look forward to this podcast every week. Keep up the amazing work. You've all really changed lives, one mama at a time. Sending lots of love, LA.
That's so
Thank you,
sweet.
girl.
Thank you.
Oh,
That was a good listener letter.
Letter in question. I love it.
You want to go first, Mel, or Codie? Or
I'm a little stumped right now, I'll be honest.
Well, I will say my thought immediately, because she said daily, right? Went to some small things, right? I am a girl who needs her coffee first thing. Okay. It's funny. One of my kids the other day, when I was like, I need my coffee, they were talking to me and I was like, hold on, I need my coffee. And they were like, you don't need your coffee. You want your coffee. And Tommy was the one that was like, no, your mother needs her coffee.
That's right. That's partnership right there.
I feel so seen. Yes, you. So, I mean, I would say that's one thing. Another thing lately has been like, and I might have sent this clip because I saw somebody say it and I felt so seen. I have to have time in the car alone.
Yeah, that's good.
Like lately I've been listening to podcasts. Shout out to IMO with Michelle and Craig, and Off the Record with Jeanette Reyes, and audiobooks. Like I have just been in the car listening to things that just transport me elsewhere. And I saw some Instagram video where this girl was talking about that being her sacred time. Right now I don't like force everyone out, but maybe I should start saying like, Tommy, you got to take them somewhere.
Yeah.
So I would say those two things and not these other roles. Now running a little bit because I just did a half marathon.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did a half marathon. Run it up, girl.
But definitely getting outside and moving my body.
That's good.
So that's me.
Melanie.
Still stumped.
Okay, girl, come back to you. So I would say this. I don't always have a daily thing, and I would like for it to be daily. Actually, yeah, so that's not true. My daily thing is actually watching TV, which is not the most productive thing that my husband pointed out to me. I like to say it's for research purposes for the show that I'm going to write. But actually, I just like to disengage from everyone and watch television. But I actually have been really trying to cut that time in half and to write, because I'll say I don't have time to write, but then I watch TV at night. But it's hard because, like, after I've been using my brain all day, I'm like, I don't want to use my brain to write. Understand. I just want someone else to talk. And I scroll on my phone and watch TV at the same time and then rewind the show and then get back on my phone and do it like 4 times.
No.
But that and working out, taking walks. I get on my walking pad every morning. Been doing squats, trying to build my little baby booty. So that is me time. Except for Tata likes to hold my hand when I'm on my walking pad. So actually, that is not my alone time. So
Nor
again,
is it safe.
No, she stands right next to me and holds my hand. Okay. Yeah, it's the thing. She holds my hand when I'm using the bathroom too. But so my point would be, I guess I'm like Melanie. I'm a little stumped because I don't reading books when it's not, listen, I have a lot of children. She has a lot of kids. I would say this. You may not have something that you're able to do for yourself every day, but maybe if you could do it twice a week and then build that up. I don't know. I thought it was the things that I mentioned, but then I realized my child was there the whole time. So I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, maybe just tell her don't.
I can't. She's 3.
Can I say what I'm reading alongside the Chia family?
Oh.
Have y'all started? Have they started?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Me and Amira and Brother Chia are reading the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Yes, I'm so proud of the 3 of them. Mm-hmm. I'm pushing them. Would you like to join the Ashley Book Club?
I'm on chapter 4.
Yeah, I'm recommending books for Codie, Chia, and Amira to read. They're going to read them together, and then they'll discuss them because they're books that I've already read.
Oh, I would like to join this book club.
Okay, well, I'll get you a copy, girl.
Lawrence Fishburne does the audio.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good voice.
You should read it though.
Bitch.
You're listening to it?
Yeah.
You did,
and he's performing it.
You did not tell me that. That's like watching it.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, but there's a whole
Malcolm and Alex Haley's words.
No, but there's a whole process that happens from you reading words and then it going into your head.
Friends,
okay,
I have 3 kids.
All right.
Thank you.
Chia has 4 and he's still reading. Go ahead. What were we going to say, Melanie?
Because he has a wife. Get me one of those.
Give me a wife. Give me a wife.
Duly noted.
I'll be honest. I'm still stumped. I'm still stumped.
Really?
Yes, I'm still stumped. When you brought up the coffee thing, I have a slight addiction to oat milk lattes.
Yeah, you do.
I do. It's the only thing other than water that I drink every single day. And it's really not because I'm a caffeine addict. It's because there's just that warm, sweet moment for myself. I make it. My husband bought me as an anniversary gift a few years ago, the cutest little Breville at home espresso latte maker. I love it. I love making coffee for when they come over, and I like saving $9 every day because if I can make it at home, why would I spend $9 out on the road? So I like that. That is a daily joy I look forward to. Sometimes I don't get it in the morning at like 11 a.m. Sometimes I get it at 3 o'clock, and it's my afternoon delight. I do really look forward to that. But I think for me, because the last few months of this year, like in the last year, I've been pouring into my career so much, and I've been traveling and I've been promoting and been on the road. That's kind of been how I've been pouring into myself outside of motherhood, having to leave, travel, alone time, getting into the mode of running my business, creating my shows, doing those things. Those things make me feel outside of being a mother.
Yeah.
I get to be an artist. I get to be my own entity. I get to pour into my creative self. I get to be with live musicians and sing on stages. And like that has been really, really amazing for me. It's really shone a light, I think, on the joy that I feel doing that part of myself that I haven't really been exercising as frequently in the last, as I mentioned, 12, 13 years. So that's how I've been pouring into myself right now. How I pour into myself as an entity is I give myself permission to not mother sometimes with my children there.
Oh,
what does that look like?
That looks like watch whatever you want to watch.
Yeah.
Come and sit and lay in this bed next to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to do whatever we want to do. If we stay in pajamas all day, that's what we're doing today. Like, I think losing some of the hard line things that I think were important about routine in those spaces and just really allowing myself to just be like, we're doing nothing today. That doesn't make me a bad mom. That also doesn't make me an active mom today because we just gonna watch whatever we're gonna watch and stay in the bed. And like, I'm okay with being still. That's how I'm pouring into myself as being an entity. I really am looking forward to stillness, more at ease time.
I love that.
Yeah, not doing
That's
things all the
awesome.
time.
Yeah, you be busy, girl.
Because we be busy, and it's busy on many levels. You know what I mean? Like, groceries got to get done. We got a dog. Like, things have to. That's also the other thing is that, like, I'm thinking about tours and Trader Joe's in the same breath. You know what I mean? Who's managing the grocery list when I'm on the road? Like, there's still things. So, yeah, I think I'm still finding. I think I'm in a new season of finding what the individual time daily routine looks like for me.
I'll let you know.
Let me know. Alrighty, y'all. We hope this reintroduction episode gives you a deeper dive into the mamas of the Mama's Den and allows for you to hopefully gain some insight on who we are a little bit better, and then also like how we're just all doing the best we can with what we got, no matter what we got and what we do. And we hope that you feel the same way about you and your life every day.
And can I say, we love listener letters. That one was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good.
But like, send us more. Because like, I feel like we're always pretty vulnerable, but I feel like we shared a lot, and we would love to hear y'all's thoughts on what you heard today in particular. Like, leave us comments. We're going to read them. Leave us comments on YouTube, on Instagram. Send us letters. Tell us if you have more questions after we just did 2 whole episodes, reintroducing ourselves. Like, I really want to know what people think and what questions you still have. And, we have kids from ages 3 to 16. So we are moms that are dealing with all kinds of things with all those age ranges, and girls and boys and homeschooling and what schooling. And so like, we want to know more about what you want from us. Like, we are here for it. We love each other. We love getting together and having this time, and it brings us joy, and it will make us feel even more fulfilled to know what your questions are and answer them.
Yeah. And so I just want to say thank you, Felicia, for helping us build the Mama's Den and being here. And make sure you all support her whenever you see her doing something. Please support our friend. She is a single mama, and she is doing the damn thing and doing everything she can to build a beautiful life for her children. So that's super important to us, that you all know that that's still our friend. We love her, and we want you to support her and us. And send your questions and thoughts to the podcast with an S at blacklove.com. You can DM us on IG at the Mama's Den Podcast, and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and watch us on YouTubes.
Yes, leaving ratings and reviews, and then go to blacklove.com for all things Mama's Den and all things Black Love.
Yes. Toodles.